As much as the conversations are about DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, as much as they are about cutting red tape and bureaucracy and a whole host of things, there is a conversation about how one grows a nation. How does one grow an economy? How does one grow opportunity and enterprise? And that is through energy. And what are we going to do? You heard the president say repeatedly during the campaign, drill, baby, drill. That was a huge part of it. Well, what does that lead to? Tony Katz today. So good to be with you here at CPAC, the Conservative Political Action Conference. Stephen Yates is going to be with us in a little bit. We're going to talk foreign policy with him. Today's show paid for by Hoosiers for opportunity, prosperity, and enterprise. And paid for by Americans for Prosperity, sponsored by PremierArms.com, your firearms store, PremierArms.com. Matt Coday joins me right now. That is Coday. He is from the Oil and Gas Workers Association. It's good to have you here.
Hey, great to be on. Thanks for having us, Tony.
Absolutely. You know, being a show that's focused on the Midwest, like we are, you know, on in Indiana, on in Oklahoma, on KRMG, on in Memphis, Tennessee, on KWAM, in St. Louis, on News Talk St. Louis, there in Detroit on Superstation 990, in Peoria, Illinois. We pay attention to the energy conversation because in an odd way we use more of it in a different way. Sure. The coasts never question what we do in the farming and in the ranching. They never understand the energy needs and the value of them. Every time they want to engage a cafe standard, they don't understand that trucks and combines are being used and can't keep up. You can't actually get the food out of the ground. You can't raise the livestock as you will. So when you are discussing energy, when you're discussing what it is that you do at the Oil and Gas Workers Association, how do you elevator pitch that to America?
You know, it's real simple. USA Oil and Natural Gas is reliable, affordable energy. You know, you talked about all the people in all of those cities and all of those states. When we look at utility bills, we look at gas and grocery prices, all of those are related to the price of oil and natural gas. And so when you constrict the market, which is what happened under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and whenever you shut down USA Oil and Gas jobs, which is exactly what they did, then you see the effects of that. And you can just simply walk it back and go, hey, wait a minute, they did this, and this is what happened. If you look at energy prices as the main driver of inflation, then you talked about trucks, right? And you talked about groceries.
Yeah.
So when you think about what a trucking company is having to pay for an increased price in diesel, well, somebody's got to recoup that somewhere down the line, and so your shipping rates go up, and then the people who are paying for shipping, they have to charge more for their products, and so main driver of inflation. And the way to reduce that, to reduce inflation, and that's what President Trump and Vice President Vance do really well, is to talk about reducing the prices, which will bring down inflation.
By the way, Peoria Freedom 95.9. I don't want to leave them out. I was mentioning other stations. Talking to Matt Coday of the Oil and Gas Workers Association. So President Trump discusses drill, baby, drill, as many of us have. Is energy dominance, those are his specific words.
Yes.
Is it as simple as drill, baby, drill?
That's one of the biggest parts of it. It's drill, baby, drill, plus all the other infrastructure. And what we've seen is radical environmental groups delay vital infrastructure, pipelines. It took forever to bring the MVP pipeline on, probably 10 years of delays. And what people need to understand is that we can drill a lot more if we can have those pipelines in the ground, if we can get that product to market. We need more gas processing plants. We need more refineries. We need new refineries that process what we produce here in America, when the most of that is West Texas.
The refinery issue is the most frustrating conversation there is. We have had the same refineries. We simply have never added capacity, and it's been decades.
That's right. In fact, the last major refinery build was in 1977, the year I was born. So it's now 29 years old, and it turns 29 every year. No, it's nice. It's 47 years old.
There were people doing math like, wait a second, I know something is off. I'm not sure what it is.
Right, but that's how long it's been since we built a new refinery in America. We need more and newer refineries.
Now, the refinery issue is about admitting that we are a nation dependent on oil. That's what the refinery issue states. When you talk about the environmental groups and others, never mind President Biden and that regime, stalling these things, limiting these things, it is about this environmental desire. Should Americans, should our future, our energy future, be oil and gas?
Absolutely.
Is there no room for nuclear or hydrogen or something else?
There's absolutely room for any other energy source that can actually compete on a reliability and affordability scale. And obviously nuclear's got a big part in that. Unfortunately, wind and solar, actually not unfortunately. Let me start that sentence again. Wind and solar wouldn't exist without our taxpayer dollar subsidies.
Agreed.
And if you look at the 45Y credits from the Inflation Reduction Act, they're getting a 2.75 cent per kilowatt hour energy production credit. And so they're not paying anything. We've given them money to build it, and then we're giving them money to produce it. And what that does is reduce the reliability of our power grids. And most of these things are imported from Europe and China, and so they're not actually creating American jobs. We were sold out to the Green New Scam under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to the biggest extent ever. Fortunately, President Trump and Vice President Vance are reversing that, and Congress, of course, is full steam ahead on oil and natural gas.
Where do we drill? If you're advising the president, where are we drilling tomorrow, Matt?
More drilling in the Gulf of America. More drilling in Anmar, Alaska, which helps shore up the Alaska Permanent Fund, helps shore up our energy independence, and helps drive us towards energy dominance. We can do more in the Permian, obviously. Haynesville, which is East Texas and northwest Louisiana, and obviously more in Marcellus Utica. If you look at Ohio, Pennsylvania, West Virginia. So a lot of West Virginia shows to be red, but a lot of the representatives there have sold out to this unreliable wind and solar.
Before I let you go, Matt Coday from the Oil and Gas Workers Association, that is OGWA.com.
OGWAUSA.com. Yes, thank you.
Let me take you back to July 13th. You were on stage, Butler, Pennsylvania, with President Trump.
I had spoken before President Trump. No, I spoke on that same stage, and that was a great day. First time I got to meet President Trump until it wasn't a great day.
Right.
And I my friend Rico Elmore actually climbed over the rail and went up to try to help save Corey Comparatori's life. That man and Dr. Sweetland are both heroes. And by the time I got up into the stands, there was just really nothing for me to do. And that day is one of those, like those, who are a little bit older than us, who remember the day that JFK was shot. And in fact, on July 13th, after Corey Comparatori was killed and if the other people were injured and after President Trump was injured, one of the first thoughts I had was about my friend Roger Stone's book, The Man Who Killed Kennedy. And I thought, my God, they've tried it again. No better illustration that President Trump has been under attack, that America has been under attack, that our oil and gas jobs and America's energy independence have been under attack than that day at Butler.
Matt, that is a story to tell. Matt Coday from the world of oil and gas, the Oil and Gas Workers Association. I appreciate taking the time.
Thank you, Tony.
To be with us right there. More to get to. I'm Tony Katz from CPAC. This is Tony Katz Today.